Good evening, everybody. My name is Adam, and welcome to The Pitch. This is our podcast. You'll meet my other host, Hector, in a little bit. Um, Basically, this podcast is all about soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. There's no judgment here. We are going to be talking about two topics today. I'm not going to reveal any details yet. You're just going to have to sit back and listen. But I just do want to say we appreciate everyone joining today. Check out our blog, Soccer for All, on WordPress. We really appreciate the read. We have a couple articles up there, and there's a video that we made as well. Check it out, everyone. Sit back, relax. I hope you enjoy these topics. We're kind of just going to give our opinions on what's going on and what we think could happen. So, hope y'all enjoy. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and dive into the first controversial topic. Should MLS players get paid the same as international players like clubs in England, Spain, and also Brazil, Italy, such as that? Wayne Rooney came out and said that MLS players should get paid the same. Now, he used to be playing for the Premier League with Man U. He also played for Everton. Um, so this is interesting coming from him. Now, how do you compare MLS to overseas? Literally, the contracts over there are ridiculous, but they have a fan base. Now, Lionel Messi makes $80 million a season. Cristiano Ronaldo makes $64 million a season. Neymar makes $70 million. Neymar had the highest transfer fee in history at some ridiculous like 200 something million dollars, which was crazy, insane. Now let me tell you the highest paid MLS players. You have Zlatan Ibrahimovic at 7.2. He was a star overseas, okay? The next one is Michael Bradley. Everyone knows him. US men's national team star, made big in what I think the 2012 World Cup, whatever World Cup that was. He's only making 6 million a season. I understand why that. MLS is there's no comparison to European leagues like the Premier League. There's no comparison to La Liga in Spain. You have high dollar teams over there. Barcelona is a powerhouse. Even Real Madrid without Cristiano Ronaldo are still good. And whenever Cristiano moved to Juventus, he made that team a lot better. So I don't see why MLS players should get that. They don't have the support that they have overseas. They don't have the stadiums, the history. I think maybe in the future, if the U.S. can build up a reputation and, make soccer like football and baseball and basketball is in the United States, then yeah, I can see the huge contracts. But I don't see the huge contracts coming up anytime soon. I think Wayne Rooney's out his mind. Um, if they want to be, and if MLS players want to make that money, they need to go overseas. They need to get better. If you can't perform in the MLS, why should you get paid? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So, we're going to pass it over to Hector.
So Wayne Rooney left DC United after 2 years in the organization, and he left the MLS dropping a bomb on the payments that some of the young players have in comparison to the experienced players or the franchise players. And I think that he has a very good point because if we compare the payments and the salaries of players like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Nani, Bastian Schweinsteiger, Wayne Rooney, even Jonathan Dos Santos, we're talking about figures over $2 million. Zlatan Ibrahimovic had a salary of above 7 million per season. And the youngest players, their salary can go up to $800,000. So we're talking about more than $6 million in comparison between a player that is almost in the end of his career against a player that is at the beginning of his career and he's exploring that path. So I think there's a big misjudgment from the MLS in that matter, but also from the organizations, the teams. I was talking recently to a person of the Houston Dynamo, and they were talking about this aspect that on they're not thinking on bringing a superstar that is gonna fill them for about 1 or 2 seasons. They want to fill their academy. They want to grow with their academy and make those players the future of the Houston Dynamo and the future of the United States. So I understand that. But I think that also this speaks more about how the MLS is being run. I have nothing against it. I think they are a great organization. There is a great league. They have a great future. But when talking about salaries of players in the contracts and how they trade the players, there's a big misunderstanding and a big misjudgment from the league. If we compare MLS to the European leagues, there's a big gap. Of course, the MLS is not trying to be like the Premier League or La Liga, but I think they should take some steps towards them so they can make the MLS even better and bigger. I think they're making some good steps, but overall, they need to change some aspects. And for instance, in my opinion, what Wayne Rooney said about the payments, it's one thing that the MLS should take care of and look, because to me it's not fair that a young player that has talent can earn $800,000 a year, while a player that has great quality but is at the end of his career, like Zlatan or Bassens Van Steiger or Nani, can earn up to $7 million.
All right, guys, this is going to be our last topic, and I honestly think it's the most controversial thing, not just in soccer, but in sports all over football, basketball, baseball, whatever. Instant replay. Now, in soccer, it's called VAR, it's a video assistant referee. Obviously, it assists a referee in making calls. I think it's a good thing for soccer. I don't think it's as dramatic and controversial as such as like football and possibly baseball. Um, I don't think it affects the pace of play either, just because soccer, the clock's always running, and then they determine if any extra time is needed. That's at the referee's discretion. Um, but I think the technology around it, I know they had an issue a couple weeks ago with a handball. I believe it was with two Premier League teams, and at first the screen said no goal, but that was an error, and then it said goal. So there was a lot of confusion on what was going on. What ended up being a goal. So I think it's a good thing for soccer. I think it helps. I know there was drama 2 World Cups ago with, I believe it was England. There was a controversy about a goal where it should have been a goal and it was called no goal. So I think VAR is something that is probably going to be keep improving within the next couple years, but I think it's something great. On the other hand, like football and baseball, where there's just so many things that can go wrong, especially in football now with the new pass interference rule. It's taking up too much time from the sport, and I think in soccer it doesn't affect that. There's 90 minutes. There's maybe an extra 10 minutes in the game, depending on extra time, but no more than 100 minutes. Obviously, when you're in a World Cup or in a league championship or a tournament, there's gonna be extra time, like an overtime, I guess you can say, for our non-soccer fans, or extra time. Um, and then also penalties. You have that, but I think VAR's good. I think VAR's good for soccer. It helps correct a ton of missed calls. People may hate it, and they may say it's technology is ruining the game. Well, guess what? We're in a technology era. That's something that's going to benefit all sports, not just soccer. So that's it. We're going to hear from Hector and see what he has to say.
So the last topic that we're gonna talk about, and my favorite because it's the one that I think I can talk the most, is the VAR usage. the VAR controversies and how the VAR is gonna affect soccer or football for the next generations. So the VAR, it's a great tool for the referees, specifically for the center referees, the main referees, but for the whole crew in general. Let's remember that VAR has four usage. Number one, goal or no goal. Number two, offside or not offside, that goes attached with a goal or no goal decision. Because now the assistant referees have the instruction to hold the flag as much as they can. So if the play ends in goal, the VAR can decide whether or not it was an offside decision. Number three, red card offenses. Okay, these are straight red cards, no second booking. It's just straight red cards. And the last one is mistaken identification. So if the referee gave a red card for a player, but it was actually for another player, then the VAR comes into handy. VAR, I think, in general, it's going to help every single referee if the procedure and the protocol is used 100%. In college, it has been used a little bit in some of the upper level colleges. I think the Big 12. I had the pleasure to be in one of those, and it's a fantastic tool because it gives you the opportunity of messing up a call, but you have the backup that somebody is watching the game and somebody is giving you the heads up. You know what, Hector, we have a problem. Let's review the call. And I think it's very fun. Very fun. It's a very fun, but at the same time, very suspenseful for the fans. Whenever we see on the TV or whenever we go to the stadium, and something is happening, a penalty, a red card, a goal, an offside, and the referee starts pointing at his ear, we know that they're telling him delay, delay, delay. We're watching, delay, delay, delay. Okay, those are the instructions that pro, which is a professional referee organization, tells the referees. We have to follow a protocol, and the protocol is very simple. Okay, if the VAR boost is telling us delay the play, that means the other team or the action has to be stopped until VAR gives us the approval to continue. So if VAR is telling us delay, delay, is because something happened, something is being checked. So after that, the protocol happens, which can last from 30 seconds up to 2 minutes. That VAR is gonna decide whether or not the referee should take a look at the picture or not. Sometimes VAR takes the main decision, which is controversial. This is where fans and especially referees don't agree too much. Sometimes VAR makes the call, and that's when you see the offside decisions. That's when you see penalty decisions also being called by VAR, which shouldn't happen. VAR should just tell the referee, we have to check this play, we have to check this, and the referee can go review, and the referee makes the last decision. VAR should not make any decisions for the referees. So the protocol is very simple, as I was saying. Okay, it's delay, delay. If something comes up, the VAR tells the referee, hey Hector, we advise you to go and check the play. This is when the referee goes to the booth, goes to the camera or the television and starts looking at what the VAR is sending. Depending on whether it's a red card, whether it's a penalty, whether it's a goal or no goal, something. The last decision is the referee's decision. And this can vary on judgment, this can vary on how the referee sees the view. Every referee has a different point of refereeing. That's the point, okay? Every referee is different. Every referee has a different judge. Every different every referee. I'm sorry. Every referee has a different way of apply the rules, which shouldn't be, but it happens.